Rishi, just tell us, paint for us the vision, the picture. I mean, I've been reading so much about what's happening at Goat Labs, and it seems that you guys are just, on it right now. You're just on the go all the time, and you're just making sure you're hitting all those milestones back to back.
Our big vision actually is we have a strong purpose. Having spent over 20 years in the corporate world, you would like to give back, and in a way, this is one way of giving back. So the whole purpose of Goat is to help brands and their passionate founders, thrive. So what we realized is there's a great opportunity to help upcoming brands, get them to have all the expertise that we take it for granted in large organizations, that things will happen, and we just need to focus on creating something special. So with that purpose, we launched Goat.
And what were the initial challenges in acquisition? What are the kind of metrics with which you look at brands as well?
So yeah, we haven't acquired any brands yet. So we are still going through all the challenges.
Yeah.
But see, the first thing that's important is that we should work with smaller brands, because very larger brands typically have it easier than smaller brands. And therefore, we picked $1 to $3 million, which is about 5-7 crores to about 20-25 crores as the sweet spot, where you have proven the concept, you have a market proposition which is kind of working, but for a smaller set of customers. Or you might be just operating out of one channel. You could be running your own site, or you could be only selling out of Myntra or Amazon.
Yeah.
And therefore, there's an opportunity to grow you by making wider availability, both in terms of number of people as well as number of channels. So that's the first thing that we look at. Second thing we look at is that there is a role that we can play, right? It's not just if you are running a business, you have everything sorted out, you have the cash, you have the backing, you have everything working for you, then we are not in for just investing. So therefore, we look at what is the value add that we bring into that business. And therefore, when we evaluate a business, we don't look at just successful businesses. We look at businesses where certain things are working really well, and there are certain things which we can come together and fix it. And that's where the value add comes in of Goat and the founders coming together. The third metric we look at, that how passionate are the founders, right?
Yeah.
So if you have built something and you just want to hand it to us and then just go on and do something, we might do it sometimes when we have other founders who could come in and run those businesses. But mostly we would like to work with founders who are very excited about their business. They know that on their own, they can go from 1 to 10, but with us, they could probably go from 1 to 100. Then there is room for both of us to really work together.
Tell us, what's the revenue model as well, in terms of, if I was, possibly looking at coming on board as an entrepreneur, what are some of the frequent questions that you would be getting, and how would you answer them?
Okay. The first thing the founder looks at, that for the value that I have added so far, like I'm coming in and joining the journey midway. So therefore there should be, so I say that, from now on, we are partners. So we will own 51%, you will own 49%, and then we can build it from here. So for all the work that you have done till now, we attribute a value for the company. Okay. And therefore we bring in that kind of money into the company, mostly as primary, and also give some secondary to the founders, because a lot of the founders have not taken any salary for many, many months, and they are kind of bootstrapping to build it. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, from that point to the next 3 to 5 years, we identify a business plan, and then we say, okay, this is the kind of capital we can bring in, both in terms of equity and debt, so that the business is not starved for funding. And then apart from that, I talked about all the expertise that we will bring in, which helps the brand move to that point.
And how would it be different, Rishi, from a traditional investor model?
Yeah, so traditional investment model will continue. I think there are some businesses which will get in, they would just seek investment, and rest of the things are figured out.
Sure.
What we offer is investment plus expertise, which also means that as we have more and more brands, the backend becomes more sturdy, and you get the economies of scale. So for example, if there are 5 brands in apparel, they could be sourcing together, and therefore you get the kind of advantages on the back end, which as a single brand you would not.
You don't seem to have a preconceived notion of what will and won't work, because I think that's the biggest grouse from founders, that that many times investors, already know what they will or won't invest in, or so in terms of categories or the kind of formats that they're looking at. Do you agree? And do you feel that you are a lot more open minded at Growth Labs?
Yeah, I have to keep a check on myself on that, Aabha. With my experience, what happens is that you tend to jump to conclusions because you have been there, done that. But
Yeah,
frankly, what happened luckily is that we built a team of a lot of the first few guys who joined us are guys who have no experience of the fashion business or the lifestyle business, right?
got it. Got
Now
it.
I push them to question me when I say, okay, this will not work. So then we have these sessions where we debate it out. Like for example, one of the questions that came up is, why don't we acquire large brands rather than
Mm.
acquiring smaller brands from 5 to 15 crores, right? I said, okay,
Yeah.
let's look at what would be good if we acquired a 100 crore brand and what
Mm.
would be the downside. So we have these debates internally, and a lot of these young guys, some of them have left very, very cushy jobs to come and work. One of the guys passed out of
Yeah.
IIT, he deferred his IM admission to work at Goat. So a lot of these bright young guys with a lot of energy, and then we just sit down and say we are equal in the room. So please question me on this. And
Nice.
then we all leave the room saying that, okay, these are some things that Rishi, you are wrong on, and we should look at it differently.
So what do you envision when it comes to Growth Labs? Let's say in 5 years. 5 years, you.
Yeah, we have built that in our mind. So we say in 5 years, there'll be, say, 100 crore brands.
Wow, 100.
No,
100.
let me complete. If there are 100 crore brands in the D2C space,
Uh,
we should be part of at least 25 of them, right?
yeah,
So
okay. 25 is
yeah,
quite substantial.
yeah.
Quite
So
substantial.
if we are
Yeah.
able to create 2,500 crore brands by 2025, and these are brands which are currently at 5 to 15 crores, so that would be a good goal to have. But obviously, things are changing very fast. Market is
Yeah.
growing very fast, so we will keep relooking at this milestone,
So
whether we can achieve faster or there are more things that we need to do to get there. So it'll be constantly under evaluation.